Welcome back, guys. As I've said, I've gone ahead and put the Mac package repo for all of the elkstack services. The Elasticsearch file be combined on logstash, and they did go ahead and return true. Everything is all hunky dory. So now, we're gonna make sure that the services start and they start on boot for all of them. And this is fairly easy, so I'm not gonna go over. There's just one state to go over, and it's service. And to be clear, what type of service manager this uses, whether it uses init or systemd or upstart, so on, it actually sort of combines them all. I don't particularly like that, but this is the best. This is the only way for SaltStack to do it. So basically, whether you're running init or systemd or upstart or whatever, this will go ahead and take care of it and make sure that your service is enabled or running or whichever action you decide to do here. So, and there are reasons why I don't like it this way, is because I like it to be separate, to less code, to less conditions to check in the code and less bugs to run into. But it is what it is. This is where it's at. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it. So from here on, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we write service running for all of our services, and we're gonna make sure that the service is enabled for all of our services, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we got our logstash state here. We're just gonna say enable and start logstash. Enable start logstash. And we can say service.running and name is logstash. I want to combine the two. I'm gonna say service.enabled, and that one's gonna be named as also logstash. And you'd think that you might run into issues, but since this is part of one state, it's all part of logstash, I can go ahead and do it like this. I could have also actually combined these other ones, but there's no reason for me to basically go ahead and write it all as one state. That's kind of messy and looks cumbersome, but since this particular one is defining just for the state, I can combine these two without it being too cumbersome. And we can do another require in as well. So we'd say, or require, not require in, I'm sorry. We can say require package install logstash. And then that's all that's gonna go ahead and require there. And we can do it for both actually. So that way it's a little more ordered. And let's go ahead and make sure that this works. And then if it does work, I'll go ahead and, do it for all of them. So let's get there, converge. And this is actually not going to take so long to converge, so I'm not going to pause the video. This is because I've already had the VM running, so there's no point for me to go ahead and pause here. And there is a error. It says enable start logstash SLS contains multiple state declarations of the same type. Okay, so basically since they're both service, it's going to fail. That sucks. I thought we could do it. Well, learn something new. So this will say enable logstash, and then the other one will say start logstash. So I'll cut this out. All right, so let's see how that works. Oh, it still failed. It says the service name logstash is not available, meaning that even though we installed it, it's not actually a service yet. And so I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and I'm going to figure out why it's not a service yet, because I installed it via RPM. And according to the documentation, it should be just service install, or sorry, service start logstash, just like so. So sudo -i service elasticsearch start and so on. So it might be because this particular CentOS is running 6.9 is running init rather than systemd, and we'll see if that's the reason. If it is, then I'm going to go ahead and switch my CentOS from 6.9 to 7.3. I may actually already do that in the future anyways, because a lot of the new stuff is in systemd. So in the next video, I'll go ahead and switch that out, but let me just go ahead and test it out, and then I'll get back to you guys in a bit. So I did find out the issue. For some reason, when we install Logstash, it doesn't actually install a file in etcinit.d or etcinit. But however, there's a file that initctl is actually able to use to start Logstash, and Salt by default looks for the file in etcinit.d or etcinit, so that's why it's not working when we use the service command. It has to be working with the service command for Salt to work, not initctl. So with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the latest version of CentOS, which is 7.3, I believe. So let's just go ahead and change it in kitchen.yaml. And I don't need to do anything else. I just need to change this to 7.3. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do a kitchen destroy and do a kitchen converge again. So again, I'm gonna pause this video. I just wanted to make sure that I relay what the issue was, and it can be a bit difficult. Oh, whoops. Let me see what it says. List. Says, oh, it's now logger CentOS 73, not 69. 73. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and then I'll get back to you guys as soon as this is done. Alright, I'm back. So it did work with CentOS 7.3. There was an issue that I wanted to report. Because we installed the packages via RPM first, and then we tried to install it via yum install, and then just the package name, and it would just go through the repository. The issue was that we needed to reinstall it, and when we reinstall it, it would uninstall the RPM version and reinstall it through the package manager, which included the service file, which is probably what happened with the init system as well, if we're running back on CentOS 6.9. So I added this reinstall flag to true, and then now everything is working as expected. It reinstalled Logstash, and then it started the service. It did the same thing for Kibana and Elasticsearch. So that was the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this now. I no longer need the reinstall flag because I don't want to reinstall it anytime after this, unless I'm updating it, which there's a different method to do that. So there's no point. So now that I've got that, we can go ahead and move on to the next video where we will be doing the test part. So we make sure that, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and replicate the service enabled and service running onto all of them. I don't think you guys need to stay for all of those. There's no point. But it's pretty simple. I'm just going to replace Logstash with Kibana and so on. So I'm going to go ahead, and since I've got Logstash already closed, let's check that off. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and get started with test info. So I'll see you guys then.